Good day, everyone. Today we are going to learn about science. Aren't you excited? Yes. So for today's lesson, we are going to talk about changes that mothers undergo, useful and harmful. Do you have any idea of those materials that undergo changes? Are they useful or are they harmful? But before we proceed to our lesson, let us first have a review in our past discussion. So I have here an activity. But before that, I am your teacher, Flor Belando. But before we proceed, I want you to arrange the jumbled letters into the correct answer by means of reading the definition I have given above. So it is anything that occupies space and mass. What do you think it is? Very good. That is matter. Number 2. A state of matter that has no fixed shape and no fixed volume. Excellent. That is gas. A state of matter that is free to flow. What do you think it is? Very good. That is liquid. Another. It is a state of matter that doesn't flow and that easily compressed. Very good. That is solid. It is type of matter where changes in visible appearance without changing the composition of the material. What do you think it is? Alright. That is physical change. Very good. You are so excellent. Another type of matter which changes in visible appearance without changing the composition of the material. What do you think? That is chemical change. And now that you have learnings about matter, then let's proceed to our proper discussion for today. So to give idea for our lesson, I have here 2 pictures. What can you see in the pictures? Excellent. What are they doing on the first picture? Yes, they are cutting trees. How about in the second picture? Yes, they are recycling. Does the picture show changes in materials? Excellent. So, the pictures show changes in materials. Now, our objectives for today, kindly read it loud with yourself. Number 1. Cite and explain the changes that materials undergo, useful and harmful. Number 2. Classify whether materials are useful and harmful. Number 3. Distinguish the differences and the changes that materials undergo, either it is useful or harmful. Is that understood, class? Okay, very good. Now let's proceed to our lesson. When we say useful materials, it is when materials serve their purpose, so they are useful. Useful materials can also be reused for other purposes. Take for example, a container when it is already empty Additionally, it can still be used as a flower vase, a coin bank, or a house decor. And when we say harmful materials, it is when the materials brings hazard and do harm not only in physical but also in environmental. So, then they become harmful. For example, broken glass jars or knives can cause cut injuries. The toxic substance such as cleaners, fumes, powders, and etc. may bring harm to our health, environment, and other organisms when not used properly. One major material change that can cause harm is the human-made disaster, where environment and other living things might be affected with an impact like throwing garbage in the river. Here are the changes in materials that are useful. So, ano yung mga example ng materials na na-change pero still they are useful? First is combustion. Combustion, ito yung may apoy, parang pabalik-balik lang siya. May carbon dioxide, and hydrocarbon. Second is the photosynthesis. It still has a cycle, paulit-ulit lang din. Mag-change siya ng ganito, mag-change siya ng ganyan, pero babalik lang din siya. Another is the recycling plastics. Dito is the materials or the plastic are recycled, yet it is still plastic but formed into new one. Ganun pa rin, plastic pa rin siya. Another is respiration. It is where the breathing, parang sa tao, we release oxygen and we inhale, the inhale and exhalation of a person. And lastly, composting for leaves and other biodegradable materials. So, dito naman is i-decompose mo yung leaves and other biodegradable materials. So, it is still leaves and biodegradable pero naging lupa lang siya but organic. Kaya siya nagiging useful. So, here are the changes in materials that are harmful. Harmful na naman tayo. So, first one is chemical fertilizer. Yan. So, chemical fertilizer, ito yung nilalagay para tumaba yung mga pananim. Just like in the picture. Nilalagyan niya ng fertilizer yung kamatis. Another is rusting of iron. Ayan. So, when we say rusting of iron, diba, before it is formed, okay pa siya. Pero pag tumagal, there is chemical already when the iron is rusting. It can affect our health and also the environment. Number 3 is making charcoal. So, why making charcoal becomes harmful? It includes deforestation and the air pollution that affects our living and that affects also the environment and also our health. Another one is throwing of garbages anywhere. What changes in materials make this harmful? Diba before, when we are going to use plastic, it is still useful. But when we are going to throw plastic everywhere, then it becomes harmful, especially in our environment. We can have pollution, water pollution, air pollution, land pollution. Yun yung magiging effect. And also, magkakaroon pa pag tumambak yung basura is flash floods, landslides, baha, pag-abaw ng tubig sa mga kanal. So that is the reason why throwing of garbages anywhere becomes harmful. And lastly, spraying by the use of chemicals. Why does it become harmful? Because the organic part of plants that is the nutrients that it has will now be contaminated by the chemicals that we use when we are going to spray or to kill pesticides, insecticides. So, may effect siya dun sa mga halaman, just like rice. When we are going to spray chemicals into it, it is not already organic because there is already chemicals added into the plant. So, useful materials. When you say useful materials, it is those are materials that undergo changes, but the composition of the substance is still the same. Only the physical appearance or state that takes place or change. So, yung chemical substance pala ng mga useful materials, hindi nagbabago. Yung appearance pwede magbago, pero yung chemical substance, hindi talaga siya magbabago. Because that is already, the substance, because that is already the content of that specific material, which cannot be changed, but it can be deformed. Yun yung useful materials. And when we say harmful materials, it is materials where undergo change in composition as well as in appearance or physical state. So, ito yung mga materials na, halimbawa, nag-undergo na siya ng change, mag-undergo din ng change yung physical appearance niya, yung substance na content niya. For instance, yung charcoal, it was a tree. Yung substance ng tree is magkaiba sa substance ng charcoal. So, here are also some classification or examples of materials that undergo changes, either useful and harmful. So, our first example is the useful materials. We have here melting of ice. When we say melting of ice, ice lang, tubig siya na naging ice, and then ice na naging tubig. So, there is no changes in the substance as well as in the physical, though the physical formation change, but the substance of the water doesn't change. Another is cutting of linen. Why does this become useful? Cutting of linen, ikakat natin siya, i-deform natin siya, but it is still a linen. The substance and the formation is still there, and we can recycle it. That is why it is classified as useful. Another is cooking of food. When is cooking of food becomes useful? So the substance are there, the nutrients of the food, as it gives a healthy, balanced diet and nutritious foods to our health. Kasi, for instance, the substance ng isda, pinirito mo, the iron, the is still there, is still present in the fish that you are cooking. Same as with the vegetables. So that's what makes cooking of food useful. And lastly is the grinding of coffee. So, pag yung coffee grind, still walang nagbago sa substance niya. Only the formation deformed, but the substance of the coffee na hindi nag-grind at nag-grind is still the same. So, what makes it useful is it still has the content of coffee, either grind or not. Now let's proceed to the harmful. First is the drain batteries. Why? Why this become harmful? Diba pag ginamit pa natin yung battery, it is useful, especially sa mga remotes, sa radio, yung sinaunang panahon, so that is useful. But when we are going to trash it down, or pag itatapon na natin siya, it becomes harmful because it causes effect in the environment and especially also into our health kasi may content yung battery na chemical which can cause us parang pag naano mo yun na is aasma ka. Another is breaking glasses. So, di ba yung glass at first that is useful? Like yung baso, pwede mo inumin, pwede mo gamitin sa mga wine, mga ganon. Pero pag na-break siya, it can cause harmful in our heart because pwede tayong masugatan, pwede makat yung kamay natin or yung any parts ng katawan natin or pag matapakan natin is mapasok sa paa natin yung bubong. And another is burning of woods. What makes burning of woods harmful? So, when we say burning of woods, di ba yung kahoy it is helpful in our environment. Pero pag sinunod na natin, nakakakos pa tayo ng air pollution, nakakakos pa tayo ng deforestation, and nakakakos pa tayo ng di ba puno. So, yung kahoy is matigas pa. Pero pag na-burn, it turns into ashes. So, the substance of the tree, when it is not yet burned, and the ashes, when it is already burned, sense of harmful material. And lastly, fireworks. What makes fireworks harmful? Diba sa una, may pulbura kasi yung fireworks, diba? Pag hindi pa siya napaputok, okay pa. Pero pag napaputok na siya, diba, it gives impact, yung amoy, the air pollution that it gives, which makes it harmful, especially pag naputok na siya dahil yung pulbura mag-scatter. So, these things undergo changes which causes harmful effect in our environment, in our physical appearance, in our health, and it can also cause climate change, global warming, mga simple materials but has big effect when it is already undergone with change. So now I have here a direction. Let's apply what you have understand from our lesson. Find and write in a one-off crosswise paper the useful and harmful changes that materials undergo in your paper. Write separately the useful materials from harmful. Look for them in all directions, including backwards and diagonals. I will give you 3 minutes to answer. So here is the table. Okay, I think time is up. So the answer here for useful, we have recycling, we have cooking of food, composting, inspiration, cutting of linen, and photosynthesis. Now for harmful, we have chemicals, burning of woods, making charcoal, fireworks, and rusting of iron, and batteries. So, I hope that you have gained a lot of knowledge in our lesson for today. And this would be not only a reminder, but a knowledge for you to understand that when we are going to make materials undergo changes, it can be useful or harmful. But let us always know that useful is good and harmful is bad. So for the evaluation, you that would be all for our today's lesson. Thank you for listening. God bless everyone and stay safe because our health is our wealth and education is the key to success.